Can I
No. Hold on.
We always have to play this game of interrupting people when they're talking.
But you're
saying... What is the point of me being on the show if I can never finish my freaking point?
Okay.
This is getting really annoying, Abby.
Hold on.
Everyone else has made their statements. I have yet to say anything.
Hold on a second, okay?
I mean, Jesus.
Hold on a second.
Why are you so angry?
Because I want to say something, and I have a point of view to make here as well.
Hang on just one second. Chair Michael, let me ask you a question. The question is, has the government presented evidence in court that Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13?
And my response...
And the answer is no, that has not happened in court.
That's Sir Michael Singleton losing patience with CNN host and typical liberal Abby Phillip after she kept cutting him off every time he tried to tell the truth about illegal immigration. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like CNN invited the wrong Trump supporter on air because Singleton came ready to talk with facts about deportation and the border crisis, but Abby Phillip and her lackeys and establishment media clearly weren't having it. Because in their world, the real crime isn't crossing the border, it's noticing that it's happening in the first place. Here's Singleton standing his ground and calling out CNN's blatant dishonesty.
But it doesn't mean that they have not made those claims publicly. It doesn't mean that those claims are not in police reports.
In 2019...
It doesn't mean that they're not in police reports. They're just not statements that were made in a court case.
In 2019, the immigration judge at the time believed the Prince George's County gang unit and the evidence that they presented before that judge at the time that Mr. Garcia did indeed belong to a gang. This is not my opinion. People can Google this crap. They can Google this. CBS reported on this. If a judge believed it in 2019, is it now all of a sudden not true?
The judge granted him a withholding of removal.
No, I acknowledge that fact.
Which is a different issue. Hold on.
But the point remains that a judge found the evidence to be credible that Mr. Garcia did indeed belong to a gang. So now all of a sudden we're just not going to believe judges?
The judge
we can't have it both ways.
I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but my only point is that the government has not presented beyond the police report. They've not actually presented the evidence to prove that he belonged to this gang.
So police reports not considered evidence before a court of law? Do judges not consider police reports? What are we saying here?
Sure, Michael, what was the original? I actually want Chair Michael to finish the point.
It absolutely is relevant to the argument from the administration, which is that Mr. Garcia belonged to a gang as one of the reasons of deporting him out of the country. And you guys are saying there's no truth to it. There's no facts to this. That's not true.
The Constitution.
You know, it's absolutely hilarious how Abby Phillip and CNN say there's no credible evidence Abrego Garcia is tied to MS-13, despite a police report, a DHS file, a named informant, and two judges who said otherwise. Yet for some reason that's not enough for CNN and establishment media. Those same people will treat anonymous Trump hit pieces like gospel, because it's apparently fine to accept any tweet, anonymous source, or politically biased opinion from supposed experts if it aligns with your narrative. But gang tattoos and court rulings are considered flimsy. I mean, it certainly is funny how credibility only seems to matter when it fits their narrative. Here's Scott Jennings pointing out how ridiculous the media's reaction to this has become.
The political analysis of this, though, is, and a lot of average people are looking at it this way, why is it that we can let 20 million people into the country just walk across, whatever, and there's no real process for them to do that, but then we have to individually pick out every single person and go through years upon years upon years of paperwork and this and that and the other, and all we're trying to do is send them back to where they came from because they came here illegally in the first place. 20 million in with no process. How do you get 20 million out with years and years of people fighting every single case? You could cherry pick any case you want, but the reality is the crisis that put Donald Trump in the White House was caused over years and years and years of neglect and letting people walk into here without any process at all, and now you're trying to gum up the works to keep them here.
A lot of them came in. A lot of them came in with parole. A lot of them came in.
CNN polling shows 54% of Americans want Mr.
November
Abrego
polling
Garcia
showed Donald
back.
Trump won the
That's
election.
CNN polling.
The
public is shifting.
We are a sovereign nation, and you cannot just come into our country illegally whenever the heck you want, because we can't do it to any other country on the face of this earth.
Asylum is a legal right.
If you come in illegally, you have to leave. Americans are tired of that. We do not have unlimited resources.
You know who was here illegally with a deportation order? Marco Rubio's grandfather.
All right,
we're not talking about Marco Rubio.
Jennings once again absolutely nails it. This is exactly how average Americans see the border crisis. 20 million people walk in, no ID, no vetting, no problem. But try to deport just one of them, and suddenly we have a team of lawyers, a stack of paperwork, and a 5-year legal battle on our hands. I mean, it's absolute insanity. Because according to the media, we're supposed to believe that there's no process to get them in, but endless red tape to get them out. And the kicker to all this is that the same people who created this crisis are now gumming up the system to keep it going, which is exactly the kind of thing that put Trump in the White House in the first place, and exactly why the swamp has been terrified of him coming back. Establishment media wants you confused, the bureaucrats want you overwhelmed, and Democrats, they seem content to try to distract you with language games and fake outrage so you don't notice that the country is being overrun and the system is collapsing under its own hypocrisy. But thankfully, people seem to finally be waking up and seeing through it, whether it's Singleton refusing to be shut down on air or Scott Jennings saying what everybody's thinking. Americans are finally done playing along. But let me know what you think. Is the system too far gone for Trump to fix in a single term? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye.